Okay, so you heard from Ovechkin. He's still going to go.
Yeah.
Anton Strawman of the Tampa Bay Lightning, who, just a bit of background, was not included on Team Sweden for Sochi. Some oversight there, but he didn't get to go. Today he was asked about the Olympics and the NHL's decision to skip Pyeonchang. They crushed a dream. It's sad, sad. He added, just billionaires trying to make a few extra bucks. Is that fair?
Well, they are trying to get something more than what they're presently getting. You don't have to be in rocket science to understand that.
Yeah. Whatever money came
You're
in.
You're looking at it very simplistically.
Whatever
Darren,
money.
they try to pull either the PA or the IOC into a negotiation. Neither wanted anything to do with it. Therefore, it's done. It's according to Gary Bettman, it's a closed case now.
Okay, so what I want to see is Ovechkin says he's going, and X number of players may agree to go. The league will come out with an announcement.
It's not that easy.
Okay, just a minute. The league will come out with an announcement. Individual owners are not going to be stuck with this. Eugene Melnick's not going to be making the decision.
There'll be a blanket over the league.
The league will make a statement as to what happens with the contracted players. And would it be that if you go, you're suspended?
Yes.
So
I would think there'll be some kind of penalty.
So Ovechkin goes and he's suspended.
For what, 2 weeks?
So then what happens when Ovechkin comes back?
Yes. What happens? Right?
Suspension's lifted.
No, he's not just suspended for the 2 weeks he's gone. What good is the suspension while he's gone?
Yes.
What's it going to be? They're going to suspend him.
Tell me something.
Is it?
That's what
if I'm Gary Bettman and you go to the Olympic Games without permission, you're done for the year.
Oh boy.
That's what I would do.
That's what you would do.
And then Ted's going to go to his season ticket holders.
Yeah.
And he's going to say, by the way, the
Ovechkin.
prices that you paid to go see one of the best players in the world, he ain't playing the rest of the season.
And whose fault is that?
I don't care whose fault it is.
No.
I don't care whose fault it is.
It's all about fault.
No.
Look at the press releases that the NHL and the NHLPA put out yesterday.
It's not about fault. It's about your season ticket holder being the most important person to the league, okay? And how do you fix that if you're Ted Leonsis or the league? How do you turn around and dump all over your season ticket holder and still expect him to come to the rink and enjoy himself and spend money?
Okay. And
how do you fix that?
And what if
Forget about who's to blame.
And what
do you say to them, Darren?
And
I still want your $200 for your ticket, but we're making a point here.
And Nick, what if it happens to 15 teams?
All of them. All of them.
What if Sid decides he's going and Malkin decides he's going and
20%.
Matthews here decides he's going?
Hey,
that's honestly
20% of your top players now do what Ovechkin does, and they're all suspended the rest of the year. And you expect people to still watch?
Don't be confused here. The National Hockey League has said no such thing.
No, they have
this is what
I
would do.
We're playing out scenarios
to get in front of this thing.
Well,
the only card the only card that the NHL players, not the PA, but the players themselves have to play here is they go en masse.
Okay,
which would effectively be a strike,
a
walkout.
But the NHL has to come out with something.
Have to.
They have to say, so you're saying they haven't, and I agree, they haven't.
They will.
And they will have to come out and say, this is the situation with all our contracted players. And it's going to have to be laid out, and the players are going to have a big decision to make.
You think a 14-day suspension after the Olympics is going to stop Alexander Ovechkin from going to Pyeonchang?
He doesn't want to play in February anyway.
So
they don't want to play those dog days in February, those 10 or 12 games.
So it's going to have to be something. And Nick,
so what is it going to be?
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see. I'd love to see that scenario. Seriously.
Yeah, it's not the season. It's not the season ticket holder that's going to be at the center of this thing. It's going to be the player that decides. And
so Ovechkin, for instance,
we shouldn't get too caught up in what the could happens. The other subplot to this thing is, and I'm surprised
you're not scary.
You're on the fence a little bit more than I thought you would be, Doug. I'm pro ownership side of this thing, and we know where Nick lies. What came out of yesterday and that statement from the National Hockey League and that one paragraph that targeted the NHLPA, and then the subsequent release from the NHLPA, which took a minute on national television to read last night, which we never do, broke precedent to put that thing up for a minute, but it was close to scorched earth from the NHLPA.
Yes.
Is now we had this feud between the NHL and the NHLPA.
What do
It
you
would appear that way.
Where's your leverage now to get Ovechkin not to go?
By who?
By the league.
What is the PA going to say to their players, Nick? What will the PA say?
Suspension.
As partners in the
and
league, what do they say to their players?
If, in fact, you suspend him the rest of the year, you think he'll really care if he's really, really set on going? You think you're going to hurt him? He's made $80 million, so he's going to make 70. So you're like,
so Alexander Ovechkin's going to give up an opportunity to win the Stanley Cup, something he's never, at this point in time, never accomplished.
Well, if he wins it this year.
No, at this point in time, he's never won a Stanley Cup. He's going to shelve one of his final remaining opportunities to win a Stanley Cup.
You just read his comment. Yeah. You just read, and according to that comment, the answer is yes.
But that's hypothetical.
Okay?
That's hypothetical because he does not know what the ramifications are of what he would face if he went.
If I'm Ovechkin and I've already had 3 Olympics where it's best on best, okay, I don't even know why he would want to go win a gold medal against competition that would look like the East Coast League, okay? I don't personally get that, but if he wants to go, and he's
but you don't know what the tournament's going to look like either.
What's the PA going to say to
it ain't going to look like the NHL.
No, it's so.
So you tell me what it's going to look like.
They could do an under 20. They could do all kinds of
under
different
20
formats.
So you're going to have junior A hockey, right? And you're still not getting the best junior A players in the world.
Men's Olympic team or the men's Olympic soccer does under 23.
Nick, what's the PA going to say to the players? What's their announcement going to be with respect to what players should do
based on yesterday?
As partners in this agreement with the NHL.
It's not for them to say anything other than watch how it plays out.
So they're not going to have a statement as to.
I think they're trying to figure out.
Do whatever you want.
I think
they're going to come out and say that?
What do you take from yesterday's press release from the NHLPA?
I took they're going to say do whatever
the hell you want.
But when push comes to shove, what are they really going to say?
The NHL Players Association is meeting with the agents right now.
And the agents are asking questions like, what happens if my guy goes? How long is he suspended for? Is there a cutoff where he no longer gets suspended and now his contract becomes null and void?
But that's hypothetical. We don't know what any punishment's going to be.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. But those are the questions that are being asked. And those are questions that might eventually have to be answered. So who's got the answer? Lawyers?
You're going to have to wait till the NHL puts punishment in place.
Mm-hmm. But we know what's coming. We know what's coming. We don't have to be hypothetical there. You can't go.
What's coming? Oh, no, you can't go, but what's the punishment?
You're going to be suspended, and they're not
for
going to.
What? The rest of the season, the playoffs,
I don't think they'll say.
They won't.
I don't think they'll say.
They won't say.
I don't think they'll say. I just think you'll be subject to suspension or something. That's what.
And it's not in their best interest if
they're not going to make
10% of the top players of the league go, and then you shut them out the rest of the season. Okay, like you got Connor McDavid coming for the next 15 years. You want to suspend that guy? You want to kick him out of your league for 6 months or a year? Are you serious?
It's going to be fun.
Hold on. Before we start suspending guys, we haven't even heard from Connor McDavid on this yet. Okay? So before we start suspending him, let's let this play out a little bit.
You're suggesting that if guys
That's what I would do.
Of course. That is as you had said, what other choices do they have?